So, hello, it's Dean, and I am back. So, it's gonna be awkward because I'm videotaping for YouTube and I'm videotaping for Facebook, so I want to mix it together. So, you guys who don't go to my YouTube channel, you can find me on Facebook also with my name. Just search my name up and you should find me. So, I was doing some Bible studying and it is so interesting. Always remember that when you are studying, you need a journal. You need a journal. Why do you need a journal? Because you can put your thoughts, you can put your questions. So whenever you get closer to a leader that know more than you do, you can go back to your journal for reference and say, hey, this is my question based off what I read and so on. So I'm going to be reading off from James 4 verses 1 to 17, and I'm going to say what I think about this chapter. So it says, you don't have what you want because you don't ask God. Wow. You don't have what you want because you don't ask God. So when I thought about that, I thought about people who are jealous. I thought of people who are greedy, and we need to be wise when we're asking. Because, and it's off of James 4 verses 26. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what it says, okay? Let's see, 26. I probably referenced this wrong. Yes, I did. Okay, it says right here on verses 2. I'm gonna read the whole part. You want what you don't have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You are jealous of what others have, but you can't get it. Ooh, so you fight and rage war to take it away from them. Yet you don't have what you want because you don't ask God for it. Well, so be careful, okay? Be careful. A lot of you guys want things from God. Something not from God. Let's say not from God. You want things, but you're not asking it the right way. And God can reveal things to you. Look, ask with good motive, not things of pleasure. That's what I wrote. So if you're gonna ask for something, be positive about it, because everything you ask or everything that you want have a reason for it. Don't you think so? There's a reason. Don't go based off what other people have. You don't know how they got it, what they did to receive it, and be careful. So it's in verses 3. And even when you ask, you don't get it. Because your motives are all wrong. You want only what will give you pleasure. So sometimes you can be asking God for something and He don't give it to you because your motives are wrong. So when I thought about that, don't envy people for the things that they have, and it's for the wrong pleasure. Okay, I'm reading an NLT version. I love that version because it breaks everything down for you in details in the language that we speak every day. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So okay, so let me read verse 4. It says, you adulterers. Ooh, adulterers. And you guys should know what adulterers is. People who, don't you realize that friendship with the world makes you an enemy of God? I say it again. If you want to be a friend of the world, you make yourself an enemy of God. I don't know about you, but for me, I want to be God's friend. I want to be his friend. I don't want to be the enemy of him, because he's a God. He's the person who created this earth. So why would I want to be enemy of God? So he created this earth. Yes, he did, but I must obey him, you know? So when I thought about it, I was like, blending with the world, fitting in, trending with the world, make you enemy of God. Let me tell you, for example, you watch TV every day, you watch celebrities, and you see how they dress and all this fashion, these trends that's coming in, music videos, and all these artists coming out with all these cool things, these cool gadgets and everything. And sometimes we want things to an extent that we cannot even sometimes afford it, that we end up purchasing things and doing certain things out of credit or owing, and building up bad credit, building bad friendships, and so on. So we must be careful who we blend in with. We must be careful what we're asking God and why we asking him and what's the reason behind it. And realizing that sometimes in life we're gonna have people that just eliminate from us, and we have to realize that people are gonna come, they're gonna go. They're gonna come, they're gonna go. Some gonna stay and some are not going to stay. And we need to realize that we have to accept things the way they are. And some people might have big luxury cars, people might have a big fancy house and fancy things. Look, you have to sit down sometimes and realize that not everything you can have. Just because you see someone have something, don't try to envy it. Don't try to want that. When you want something, ask yourself, do I really need that? Do I? And don't get mad because you don't have it. Just that God don't think you need it. You don't really need it. Okay? That's why I came with this title. Ask, don't fight, don't judge. Because sometimes people have things you don't know how they have it and what situation. Okay? So, we can't judge others because God is the judge to do that. So when I saw verses 12, I was like, hold up. Look, we're living in a life where there are a lot of interesting people. I'm telling you. It says 12, God alone, who gave the law, is the judge. He alone has the power to save or to destroy. So, what right do you have to judge your neighbor? He alone has the power to save or to destroy. So, what right do you have to judge your neighbor? So, when I saw that, I'm like, wow. I'm gonna get to you guys, you Christians. You who's watching this. And I'm a victim of this. In our life, we have to stop and realize that we cannot judge people. You can't judge someone by their appearance. You can't judge them. You can't. God created everybody toward the end of the day. And He's the one that only had the authority to change that person. And He's the only one that had the authority to judge that person also. So toward the end of the day, you can live your life, but you gotta know that God is watching everybody. But you can't just walk in your daily life and say, ooh, I don't like such and such because this and that. No, don't do that. Don't judge someone. Don't. Because you don't know what's inside, how they are inside from their heart, and how their relationship is with Christ. So we have to be mindful of things and people. And don't criticize people for the way they are. That's not your job to judge who they are, because toward the end of the day, God is the one who's going to make the decision and judge them for the way they've been living their lives and so on. So I'm like, ooh, I love James. The book of James gives you so many interesting things that you can relate to your daily life. And I'm like, wow, like this is super cool. So when I was reading, I highlight this. It says, how do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Okay, before I read this passage, I want you guys to take your time and think about this, if you ever did this, because I'm like, ooh, I was sinning as I was doing this. Let's say you say, okay, tomorrow I will do this, I will do that, and I'll get that done. Listen, whatever promise you make for tomorrow and you don't keep it, it's a sin. Okay, so when you plan ahead of time certain things and you don't complete it that day, you're committing a sin. And I didn't know that. Like it says, I'm gonna read from 13, James 4 verse 13 to 17, so you guys can understand this passage I was reading. I was like so in shock. It says, look here, you who say today or tomorrow we are going to a certain town and will stay there a year. We will do business there and make profit. 14 says, how do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here a little while, when it's gone, then it's gone. It's here a little while, then it's gone. 15 says, what you ought to say is, if the Lord want us to, we will live and do this or that. So, that's why when you see somebody, I hope I see you tomorrow, you get to say, hey, if God wants. Like in critics, I see bon Dieu, if God grants you to see tomorrow, I guess. I don't know how to phrase it in English, but put God into it. Don't just say, oh, I'm gonna get this done tomorrow. Allow God to allow that permission, because tomorrow is not promising. You don't know how you're gonna wake up tomorrow. You don't know if you're gonna wake up tomorrow or if you're gonna breathe tomorrow or not. So yeah. And it says, 16 says, otherwise you are boasting about your own plans, and such boasting is evil. 17 says, remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it. Okay, so if you say you're gonna do something and you don't do it, that's a sin. So if I say that I'm gonna upload this YouTube video tomorrow and I don't do it tomorrow, that's a sin. And that's being boastful. I didn't know that. And it's something that I'm working with uploading videos, working on videos on Saturdays, on Sundays, and all that stuff. But let's just say it's a work in progress. Let me tell you, I'm human, and it's not that easy. My goal is to each day do my best to read the Bible and meditate upon it and share the word through the social media. That's the plan. That's my goal. But I pray every day that God can help me to accomplish this goal. Because every day that you get into the scriptures, it helps you to live your life as peaceful as you can. And it allows you to get closer to people. And be mindful of people that we have in our lives. Like yesterday was Thanksgiving. It was a wonderful day, and I'm thankful for what God have done, who God put in my life, and I just hope that every time that you guys ask God something, ask God for things that you really need, what's important, not unnecessary things and not what people have. Focus on what God have given you and what you need, not what you want. Okay? So I'm gonna read what I try to summarize this chapter a little bit. What I read, I said we must not be jealous of others and what they have. Don't act with wrong motives, okay? Stop fitting in with the world, the crowd. You'll begin to be the enemy of God. We must be humble. Resist the devil. Draw close to God and God will come close to us. You don't know your tomorrow. Let God be the judge of that, and don't judge people because that's God's job and His alone. God knows your future. He knows your life, not you. Okay? Based on verses 13 to 17. So only God knows your tomorrow, not you. Okay? So I just want to tell you guys, I hope you guys love this little mini video that I had with you guys. And what I just did today, I will be putting out on YouTube, which I'm videotaping. It'll be on my channel. Just search me up, Lordyne, and